Hello everyone. Welcome back to Minecraft. We're starting out today in the new storage building. I went ahead and finished the whole bottom floor. There's a little spiral staircase going upstairs, but there's nothing up there right now. And yeah, I moved everything in, and while I was moving things, I found some stuff like these suspicious stews that I didn't know I had. And I wanted to go ahead and try them out with you guys. And that one made me weak. And that one made me blind. Well, that was fun. So this side looks pretty much how you'd imagine. The storage area. The first hallway I decided to decorate with some Minecraft paintings. These aren't something that I use very much. But I decided to try them out. I threw another one over here in this area by my bed. It's always wonderful to wake up and see that skull right there. Got all my workstations here, got a wall of furnaces, and then I have some fun plans for what I want to do on these walls, but we'll get to that in a minute. Here on the outside, things are looking good. I actually built up the pedestal. It's a very large pedestal, and it connects nicely over into this one, so I can just run over here into my cozy little corner. Put some bushes down in front to give some color and life to it so that it wasn't just plunked down on the land. I need to do something like this with pretty much everything else. Another thing I'm really proud of is how I've been using hidden lighting. When you're in here, the only torch you can see is that one there on that wall. Everything else is lit with pumpkins up here near the ceiling or hidden down underneath the carpet, and it's the same thing outside. We've actually got some pumpkins behind these trapdoors, and there are torches underneath these moss carpets. Last few things, I decided to put a pedestal up at the base of the Mines of Moria. I was a little bit torn on how I wanted to do this for quite a long time, so I put it off. I decided to match it to the deep slate that we have going on there. And now that the pedestals are all really filling in this direction, it doesn't feel so out of place to put up a little wall here. And I also put up a little rabbit enclosure because I found 2 rabbits right near my base, so I lured them over, started breeding them. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for what I've been doing between episodes. So let's head inside and decide what we want to do this episode. I'm really not actually sure what I want to work on today, and what's this? A map? A book? Wait, this is my map. What's that? What's that banner on it? Something's marked. Project supplies. Well, it seems we have some sort of mysterious project that we are meant to be working on today, off in the distance. So I guess I'm gonna gather up these supplies and then we'll have to head off towards that marker and see what we can find. If any of you have any idea what this mysterious project might be, what we will find at that banner on the map, head down to the comments and let me know. This mysterious supplies list is asking us to bring quite a few things with us, so I think this might be a good time to use our donkeys. I could use the llamas, but I want to try the donkeys. They've got 15 slots of inventory each, and that seems like something I can work with. Alright, double checking the list. I think we've got everything, so I'm just gonna throw this book in here, and we're gonna head out. Alright, come along, donkeys. We're off on an adventure. So we're going to start here across the river, and we're going to try and head in as straight a line as possible as we can to that white banner. And I think I'm actually going to mark the path out so that I can make this an easily traversable trail between the main base and whatever this mystery is. So this is my first time using donkeys to transport items like this, and I have to say that it went pretty well. I enjoyed it. It was maybe a little slower than if I went on foot, but I was able to bring so much more stuff. There were only a few moments where the leads broke, and the worst part was definitely when we got to the dark oak forest. There were so many trees, the donkeys had a hard time following me, and I was absolutely terrified that there was going to be a creeper in the shadows that was going to come and blow them up. But luckily, we made it quite safely, and all was well. So let me tell you where we are. Some of you smarties out there might have picked up on what this is, but this is the mine shaft that I raided in the other episode that you guys didn't get to see because I didn't actually record myself raiding it. And the reason we are here is because while I was here, we found something very useful. There it is. We found a cave spider spawner. See, my base back home was absolutely infested with pillagers. So I thought I needed to get away from the base for a time and come deal with some other pests. Plus, dying just before the last episode made me realize that it would be really nice to have a consistent source of XP, although I killed so many pillagers that I'm all the way back up to level 29. But all the same, we are going to turn this spawner into an XP farm for ourselves. So it sounds like there's a dark spot on the other side of this wall, and the spawner is succeeding at spawning spiders in. And that's kind of an issue, so we're going to go back up to the surface, hopefully despawn these guys, and then I'll come back in, take care of that. I would like to get the coordinates of this spawner and figure out exactly where it is on the surface. We're only at Y39, this is nice, we're pretty close. We're not going to have to dig up and down very far. So I found the spot on the surface, marked it with this cobblestone. It's right here, it actually comes out of the dark oak forest and here to the birch forest. And honestly, this area just feels so much more open and safe, so I'm going to move the donkeys over here, and we're going to kind of let this be our base camp during this project. Here you guys go. Alright, so our goal is to rush into that corridor where they're spawning, which is this one, and get some light in here, block out spawns before, you know, something terrible happens to me. And with that, we're good. So now, let's go ahead and start working on the farm. I want to say this right now, this is not an original design. I'm going to be using a farm design by Shulkercraft. They have an excellent, simple cave spider farm design, and I'll leave a link to their video in the description. If you want to make this farm, I highly recommend checking out that video because it is so easy to follow along with, and it tells you all the materials you need. So we're going to start by clearing out an area around the spawner. Probably should have brought more building blocks to help with this part, but the nice thing is because we're digging out a lot of the area, we end up with a lot of blocks that we can use to fill in the parts that need to be filled in. Kind of a weird, funny thing. I know for a fact that I'm never going to be able to see into this farm. It's going to be completely enclosed. And yet, for some reason, I do care about how it looks inside this room. So I'm going to pull out anything in the walls or floor that isn't stone and replace it with cobblestone. So the end result of this room should just be a box of stone and cobblestone. Alright, the room's looking pretty good. We do have this one piece of glow lichen on the ceiling, and I need to break that because otherwise it'll be creating light, which will not be good for the farm. What we need to do now is decide which direction we want to push the spiders. I want my spiders to go this way. We're going to push them to the west. So, as I go through this process of building the farm, I'm not actually going to go into too much detail with it. This is Shulker Crafts farm. If you want to learn how to build it, go check out their video. The link is in the description. Basically, I'm using water to funnel all the spiders to one side of the room, and then I dig a tunnel into that wall. And that tunnel connects up to where I will actually be to use the farm. And I'll go into a little bit more detail of designing that room and, you know, the stuff that's actually mine. So I've already got a design worked out for how I want this room to look, and so I know that from these blocks here, my way to get up and down needs to be 11 blocks away in that direction. Cool, so that means I need the coordinates of these two spots. 11088, 330. Did I say 11? It's 1088. 328. Now I need to go find those two spots on the surface. I'll fix that later. Alright. 1188, 330 is there. 1188, 328 is there. Now, digging straight down is a bad idea. This we all know. So what I like to do to make it a bit safer when I'm making these systems where I can get up and down somewhere, I like to dig out all three. So that way, you can always see if there's a hole before you fall in it. And then you just pillar up the middle to get that middle divider back in. Well, that's terrifying. Now, if I was really dedicated to this project, I would come in and make these walls look good too, but that's a ton of work. Maybe I'll do it someday if I, you know, get bored and have nothing to do. For now, I'll have to put up with coming down and up next to normal, natural-looking Minecraft rock walls. And we made it. So real quick, I'm gonna make an infinite water source. We're gonna put some water right there. That will make it safe for us to drop down this part of the tunnel. Now I'm gonna pillar back up to the top. Alright. The one with the 3 torches is the one it's safe to jump down. Perfect. So now on the other side, I would normally use a bubble column to get up and down, but we haven't been to the nether yet, so I don't have any soul sand. So we'll stick with scaffolding. Now we've got a good way up and down into the farm. So now let's see if we can get the farm working. When we throw our water in these corners, all of the water is going to flow to this block. Wait. How is... Wait. What? I'm confused. Guys, I always do this every time I make this farm. I forget that because of how water flows, you actually want these blocks in with the water flowing and then take them out with the water present. That avoids that weird dry spot in the middle, and then all the water flows completely to here. Now anything that spawns in here is going to fall in the water and flow to here. So now we're starting to get into parts of the farm that I am going to see. And so I think I'm going to decorate the walls of this part of the tunnel just a little bit. We're going to make it nice and simple. Just fill it in with dark oak planks. Last thing we need to do with this tunnel is lower the ceiling. Over the chests, we're going to put trapdoors. This is because cave spiders are quite small, and they can actually fit through that half-block gap. But with the slabs and the trapdoors, they won't be able to get through, and so we'll be safe while the farm is running. So now it's time to find out if I built the farm correctly. And we do that by turning it on. And we turn it on by removing all of the light in the room. Now this is definitely the scariest and most dangerous part because things can start spawning as it gets dark, and that means I can get attacked. I'm gonna just let the torches go get picked up by the hoppers. Oh, I'm so scared. Okay, here we go. Not dark enough yet. Good, good. And boom. Spiders instantly. Well, a single spider. See, so the water brings the spider right up to here. And he can't get me. He can see me. He knows I'm here. But he can't touch me. And more continue to come. Now we could theoretically leave it here. This is perfectly functional. We have a way in and out. But this is an absolute mess. And I want to make it look good. So the very first thing we're going to do is look for some iron. Because in all my preparations, I forgot a stone cutter. And instead of going all the way back home to get a stone cutter, here we go. I figured it would be easier to just look for some iron, because we only need one piece of iron to make a stone cutter. Oh no, I forgot my deep slate. Ah, I'm gonna have to go all the way back to the base anyway. Darn it. I thought I had grabbed everything, but alas, I had not. So, while we're traveling, how are you guys doing? Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're getting excited for the holiday season. Yeah, I'm just trying to make some small talk while I wander back to my house after having forgotten a very essential part of the build. You know what? I'll just meet you guys back at the spider farm once I have the deep slate. Well, guys, I went all the way home and back again, and I now have an inventory full of deep slate. But guess what? I forgot the stone cutter. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with my brain today. So, we're gonna have to do what we were planning on doing and make ourselves a stone cutter. In the meantime, we can start putting in some blocks. Alright. Underneath the hoppers and chests, we're gonna have deep slate. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn hostile creatures down pretty low so you don't have to worry about that ruckus. We're gonna go ahead and stack the deep slate into polished deep slate, which we are gonna go ahead and use on the floors along with the regular deep slate. Alright, we're starting to get a good area cleared out. We've got our nice deep slate, polished deep slate floor. And then for the ceiling, I want to use some more dark oak planks like we've been using. Alright, I have to do something a little tricky because I realize I don't want these blocks here to be planks. But tearing them out might let the spiders out, so... well, if I die, I die. There we go. Now for the walls, I want to go with a mix of deep slate bricks and deep slate tiles. This is a pairing that I really like. We used it on the cow farm. We're going to use it on the spider farm as well. I also want to do something just for the visuals. I like to have these little pop out areas here, just so that it's not a perfect rectangle. Like that. And we'll do one on the other side too. I also want to add 2 little alcoves poking out of the rectangle shape of the room closer to the entrance. And these are going to be a little more functional. This one's going to have a chest in it, just to have some storage in this area. And on the other side, I'm going to put a bed, just so that I can have the option of sleeping down here at the farm if I need to. And back here, it's far enough away from the spiders that... Alright, this room is feeling a lot better. Nice and enclosed, it's got a fun shape. But I want to make a few changes. First, some of these corners, I want to pull out the deep slate. I'm going to replace it with spruce logs. And then I'd actually like to go across the whole perimeter at the top of the wall. And here at the top, we're going to put in dark oak logs. And then we're going to strip them. Then to help with some of those weird connections, we're going to come in with trapdoors. And I want it to be light enough that nothing spawns in here, but I'm okay with it being slightly darkish for the mood. And I'd like to try and hide the lights. I was going to use carved pumpkins like I did with my storage building, but once again, I forgot the carved pumpkins. So I'm just going to use torches. So we'll just use some trapdoors to hide these torches. And I think it'll still look pretty good. For now, there's just one last thing I want to do by way of decoration in these little alcoves. While exploring the ancient ruins, we got ourselves some pottery sherds and bricks. And I would like to craft some decorated pots. We'll give them some polished deep slate pedestals. They won't do anything, but visually, I think it's a fun touch to the room. We went with the burn flame one and the heartbreak, because I had multiples of those and I didn't have any that really had to do with spiders. Yeah, and I think that'll be it for the inside of the farm for now. And in the process of just building this farm, we ended up getting from level 29 to level 36. So that's pretty good. I think this farm is going to serve us very well. Alright, back up at the surface in this beautiful rain, I would like to try and work out a structure to sit on top of this, so that it's not just, 2 holes in the ground. But first we're going to have to clear out some of the trees in the area. And I'm going to go ahead and collect some of the leaves. I'm not really in need of birch saplings. Alright, we're going to do something a bit weird and kind of build this thing from the inside out. We're going to be building a sort of small cabin. And then I'd like the next section of the cabin to have a slightly lowered floor. It's going to be all polished deep slate. Now we're going to take this whole thing and line it in vertical spruce logs, just 1 block high. Then we'll start filling in the walls. On the front section, the entryway, we're going to build the walls out of spruce planks. But on the other section, we're going to build the walls out of cobbled deep slate. Now for the roof, we're going to try some interesting things. I don't want this roof to have much of an overhang at all, really. We'll do our iconic little point. And then down here, to kind of get away with not having an overhang, we're going to turn some stairs to face the forward, to face the front. Then come in with a bunch of trapdoors to give it just the slightest overhang. It's a little different look than we're maybe used to, but I think it works for a more compact, non-overhung roof. My plan for the other roof was to do it all out of spruce, but I'm not actually sure I have enough spruce. But I'll give it a try. Oh, well, look who came and found me all the way out here. Yeah, I didn't quite have enough spruce to finish this part of the roof, so I'll have to get some and come back. On the inside, instead of normal windows, we'll throw in some fences. Really, dude? You lost your llama? Or maybe what happened is he saw how much stuff I'm gonna have to take home and graciously gifted me a llama to help with transporting materials. Oh my gosh. Yeah, 3 inventory slots. Thanks, dude. That'll help a ton. Well, the man kindly gave me his other llama too, and this one is a little bit better. So in the end, I'm gonna have to come back here and finish off the detail work once I get some more spruce wood, do some decorating inside. So for now, the last thing I want to do is take some of the birch leaves we got and just put down a bunch of bushes around this little cabin. It's not much, but it works, and what's important is the farm down underneath. But I'm ready to get all this packed up, get my lovely animals back home, and I'll come back between episodes and finish this building off. Oh man, with all my new animals, I'm literally 1 inventory slot short of being able to take everything. Oh, never mind, I can put some copper there. And I'll take the string down below because this place is going to have a bunch of string in it anyway. So this little trip gave me the opportunity to experience llamas and donkeys side by side. And I have to say, donkeys can carry more, but llamas are much better at following. Having 4 animals jostling behind me, including 2 donkeys, just didn't seem very good for the donkeys. So I think in the future, if I only need a donkey, I'll take a donkey. But if I need more than that, I'll probably go with the llamas because they move better as a pack. You can also see that I had to kind of resort to dragging them through the water because I found that was a quick, easy way to move. But overall, I was very surprised to see how easy these animals made it. After I explored the Trail Ruins structure, it took me several trips to shuttle everything back. And with these animals, we were able to get everything in one go, which was pretty nice. So in the end, I have to say that I am satisfied with them. And together we made it safely home. Well, we made it back home, and I want to finish out the episode where we began. I mentioned at the beginning of the episode that I have plans for these areas here, and I actually want to go ahead and show you what I was talking about, and we're going to turn these into map walls. When you put a map into an item frame, it fills in the whole thing, and having them all lit up makes sure that they're all kind of the same color. I think having a map of my base is one of my favorite things in Minecraft. I'm gonna have to go and get these other maps so that we can explore the world. So that's what I wanted to do on those walls. I think it works well, it looks nice. Thank you guys so much for joining me this episode. It has been a blast. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next episode.